Cameron, you got us hung over. You feel responsible for
Yeah,
that?
nice job, Cam.
Yeah, I do a little bit.
What do you think?
It's strangely familiar.
I'm good. So this is the Mama Triad and Flat Out Friday podcast, coming to you from Coatesville, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
The home of Cameron Smith. And we were a little slow moving this morning. We had a hell of a party last night.
Yeah, yes we did.
Tell us about the party, Cameron. Was it what you wanted?
Oh yeah, it was everything I expected. Definitely gonna be better for next year, but I'm glad everybody came out and we had a good time and everybody was safe. Nobody got serious and injured, and there was some great racing and I think everybody had a good time.
Super great racing.
Did you get hurt? I didn't see in the heats. I didn't see in the main.
But you and Jeremy, you and the other your tuner Jeremy, you guys were ripping it up out there.
Yeah, we were.
You didn't get hurt though?
No.
He told me that you got hurt and were done for the night.
Yeah, I fell like 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
And I was like, man.
You're too stoked for conditions, we call that.
Yeah.
I want hang on, but I'm going back. I felt a little bit of a microaggression there. A microaggression means you complained under your breath. What do you mean better for next year? What could we do better?
It came together a little last minute. I think now that we know what to expect, I think we can plan it out a little better.
Okay.
You know?
Give me one thing specific we would do.
That's with most things.
Bonfires.
More fire?
Yeah, more fire. Keep everybody warm, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's...
It got cold.
Yeah, it got cold pretty quick.
Really cold.
Yeah.
Well, who are you? Like, why are we together here, Mr. Cameron?
I'm a professional racer and I actually met you guys through racing my motorcycle. And we're actually here just celebrating the end of the year, just the icing on the cake. And we're here having a good time with Fridays with some boonie bike racing and just regular Fridays and Mama Triad festivities.
Yeah.
So it's not, and it wasn't your birthday.
No.
No. Okay.
How did that get thrown into
I don't know.
your birthday?
I don't know.
I guess I assumed you said I'm going to have a party.
Yeah.
And I guess I assumed it was birthday. That's probably me.
Yeah.
But like all things go haywire.
Yeah. Wait, I wanted to talk about it's the end of season party. How did your season go? How did you feel about your season this year? You had a pretty good one. You had a few.
Yeah, it was a little rough in the beginning, and then we got things figured out. Once we got them figured out, we started having our momentum roll forward, and we were doing really good. I think,
Like what was happening in the beginning of the season? What were you fighting against, struggling with?
Just bike problems, just little miscellaneous things.
Like what's a common thing for the audience out there who's like not a professional flat track racer? Like what kind of issues are you chasing all the time?
It might be just bike setup, or we had electrical problems. We had brake issues. We had a couple of motors go.
Are those motors built like so hard that it doesn't take much for them to go? Like because they're just like built to the edge of their ability, and so like if you over rev it or something like that, it can go. Or
no, not necessarily. I mean, it comes.
You race a Yamaha, right?
Yeah, Yamaha. Yeah, not necessarily. I mean, it just came down to certain things were just stupid things were happening. Just internally with the motor, and just electrical wiring, just taking a crap on it. But we got it all figured out, and once we got it figured out, we started climbing up the ladder.
Right. What's the origin of the bike? Where did it come from? How long have you had it? Who was your tuner?
It came from Mike Owen. I believe he's in Maryland. He built the frame, and the whole bike pretty much comes together after you get the frame. Mike Butler and Andrew Butler actually originally built the bike, and did a really good job on it.
They're friends of yours?
Friends of mine. Yeah. They built the bike. Andrew built the motor originally, and like I said, the frame came from Mike Owen, and the wheels came from Jeffrey Lowry.
Okay.
The graphics only came from Jamie Richards, and then it's just one of the things. Once you get the frame, you kind of just start building it. You know what I mean? Just so it's kind of cool to see it all come together. Every day, something that little piece of puzzle gets added.
And how many of those motors do you keep? Do you keep like 3 or 4 on the shelf, like ready to go? Or are they inexpensive? Are they very expensive? Or how much are they built?
They're not too bad to get, just a crate motor.
Okay.
And then build it from there. But yeah, it's a little expensive, but it's good to have,
Spares.
Yeah, spare motors. At least one spare motor. So if you have one bike, another motor is good to have, just in case if you got to swap it out. If you're tough on money, you have two fresh motors. Halfway through the season, you can switch a motor. Just to get you through the rest of the season.
Do you take one with you when you're traveling? A lot of times you're traveling alone.
Yeah.
You take one with you.
Yeah.
You can swap it out.
Yeah.
Maybe not on. Can you swap it out on race day or just like
Yeah.
You do that.
Yeah, I could.
You and Jeremy, yeah?
Yeah, we could if needed.
Have you had to do that this season?
No, not this season. Not at the racetrack, no. Luckily, I know.
All right.
And so tell me, meaning I'm a lay person. I don't know the nuances. So you got to zoom out a little bit. I know you're super zoomed into what AFT is, but zoom out a little bit. How is this not a super twin?
Because it's a production motor. It's not, your race motor that Indian has came out with, and I think a few other manufacturers that came out with just race ready motors. So
the frame is the same.
Yeah. Frame and everything is pretty much the same. It's just the motor and a few other technicalities. Rule changes they have from production to Super Twins.
Is that motor restricted from doing anything?
No.
You can do anything you want to that motor.
Yeah, pretty much you can do anything you want to it, as long as you stay within bounds. I don't think you can go over 800 cc's, and I think there's a few things you can't do with the throttle bodies, so certain sizes.
Okay.
But besides that, yeah, you're pretty.
So that motorcycle could never be a super twin.
Yeah.
It could be a super twin.
Yeah.
Now, how could we make that a super twin then? That makes sense to me.
You could just build it up to a 750, and it's pretty much ready to go.
Okay. So it's not a 750 now.
No, it's a 700.
Got it.
And actually, if you get top 4 in the productions main.
Oh, we saw you.
Yeah, you get to go up into the Super Twins, so you actually get to run with the Super Twins. You actually get to see how your equipment is up against there. So
it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Really close.
Yeah.
I just had a question about that.
Well, I got a ton of questions, so I'm going back, Scott. You think about it.
Go for it.
Tell me, Scott was mentioning to you about you and Jeremy being on the road. Tell us a little bit about what it's like. Whenever I hear stories about rock stars or athletes, I'm really curious what their day to day is. There was a professional football player here last night. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that guy?
Yeah.
Tell me his name.
It's my dad's buddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was so enthralled with his day to day life of what it's like being a professional athlete. What's it like on the road for you? Can you give us a day in the life of going to Springfield, or
is it all just like champagne and
no? I mean,
and sweet hotel rooms.
Not really. It's a lot of driving. A lot of driving, a lot of joking. You see a lot of stuff. You meet a lot of people. It's just.
Where are you sleeping?
You sleep in a hotel. If it's a long drive, you might pull over halfway through and sleep in the van. Which isn't too bad. Get up in the morning. Take a shower at a truck stop. Fill up, grab a little something to eat, get some gas station food, and then get back up.
How do you eat on the road? Your dad was talking about how he's like he eats really well. So what's your eating routine on the road? You don't you're not eating fast food.
I try not to, but if I have to, I try to only do it in the mornings. Trail mix and stuff like that. I try to. It's kind of hard to eat a really good meal and still drive hours on end. It's not like you can go to Olive Garden and get a nice, chicken Alfredo and still put down, 8 hours. You get tired after a while. You're like, man, the food is just sitting there.
Yeah,
tired. So, just try to eat good. Try to put some clean stuff in your body when you're driving.
Right.
Because you're obviously going to the racetrack.
And a race day too? Is that how you do it?
Yeah. I try to eat, some good chicken, some vegetables. Water, just try to keep some clean stuff in your body because you need everything on race day.
When I was being a race dad, to me, the tuning of the motorcycle was one thing and a whole separate problem. But tuning mentally was what I would spend most of my time doing. On race day, do you have someone to do that, or do you have a mental routine? How do you keep your head straight from sleeping in the van on the wayside the day before to now having to put your suit on, potentially change a motor, change a tire? That seems like a lot of a mental zigzag.
I was wondering about that too. You're having to take care of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you switch gears when you get to the track?
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty, you know, from Monday to Saturday, it's pretty all the same. You know what I mean? Because you're always trying to put the pieces together. So it's kind of just, it comes with the nature. You know what I mean? When you're driving that long, you gotta sleep. You know, so you just put a little bit of sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I hear you saying though is so if you know you're racing in Springfield,
Yeah.
you plan that week.
Mm-hmm.
You know the gearing. You know everything that's packed is already planned, and you're very efficient.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not like how I would do it on Thursday night. Just throw shit in the van with a pitchfork, and then get to the track and try to unpack it.
Yeah, sometimes I do that.
Okay.
It's not too bad, but I only do that with places where I go to where I kind of know what I'm doing and kind of know what to expect, you know. So then you can kind of get away with it.
I got one more point I want to go back to of how we got connected or how we met. Scott, you said that Cameron was first on your radar when you were in
Greenville, Ohio. And it was like 2018. And I was with Ed Subius, who used to do our social media, and Gary Inman from Sideburn Magazine. He had come over just so we could go road trip all together to go to Lima. And we left a little bit early, and I didn't even know about the race. I think Ed did or Gary did, but we saw you race at Greenville.
Yeah.
And man, you were on fire. I mean, you had the like best style. There was like no twitches and anything. You were just that limestone track, and you were just making it look so easy and schooling everyone.
Yeah.
And that's the night before Lima. So I was blown away, and I was like, who's this guy? You know, like he's just like running laps around everyone. Is Greenville a place that you've raced before? Like, is that like what's your? Is that like a place that you raced when you were coming up as an amateur a lot, or you used to limestone tracks because of like where you live and like where you race?
No, I just think I just gel with that track really well.
Yeah.
You know, just.
You raced it since?
Oh yeah, I raced it a few times. You know, I've only raced it 4 or 5 times. You know?
What was that bike that night?
The CR 450. It's actually
Yeah.
at Jeremy's shop, getting some work done to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have it.
Man, you were great. You were great that night, and that's what put you on my radar, on our radar, and we've been following your career ever since. You were racing singles then, or you you weren't racing twins yet.
No, I didn't race twins.
And how long had you been racing at pro level at that point?
2 years.
Okay.
I think 2 or 3 years out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That was really remarkable, and it was a remarkable weekend, like going to Lima, which I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
Which is just like, for anyone out there, if you're a fan of AFT or not, you know, or if you're a fan of AFT, you know about Lima. If you're not, if there's one race to see, and I think on the tour, that's the one, because it's so epic. The speeds are so fantastic. The racing, you know, on cushion tracks is just like it's beyond understanding for a lay person, like, or even a racer. I'm an amateur racer, was an amateur racer, but just knowing what it's like to race on cushion and seeing how fast you guys go.
Yeah.
And in concert, you know, with 25 of you all out on the track at the same time, like handlebar to handlebar, it's beautiful, and like the stones that get spit into the corners and into the crowd. It's like everyone's just raging. It's like
having a moment. I'm just sitting here listening.
Lima was like one of the most beautiful things that, like, one of my favorite memories of like going to a race and watching racing. That was like a really epic weekend.
Heck yeah.
So I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know. I mean, you're just feeling it, Scott. We were in awe of your energy on that.
So I love watching you race. You had a great season. How did you end up overall this season? 6.
Yeah.
See, pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You did great at New Richmond or at what was Cedar?
You almost hit third. What happened on that last turn? We were on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, I think I slipped up wide. We were having some trouble in that turn, turn 3 and 4. It was like a weird, like, it would fall off camber and then come back up, and then so like the front end would just kind of push up until you get onto that banking of the straightaway, and it would kind of just straighten you out. But it was definitely a good day, you know. So it was nice to see you guys come there and race with you guys.
Oh, it was great.
So, and then the track was it was awesome.
It was a good track.
I didn't expect it to be like that.
Yeah. That's the first time you guys have raced there.
Yeah. We were like, man, it's going to be super rough, you know, and soft, and the track ended it well.
Yeah.
Because even in spite of all that rain.
Yeah, it did well. It did really well.
That's cool.
So I like to keep things linear, if you will. We're talking about where you are now. Can we let's go back just a little bit and tell us how you got into flat track? Me as a race father, I saw you and your father being a race father, running the amateur circuit, national amateur circuit. I would see you around. Anyway, tell me a little bit about growing up, how you got into bikes.
A friend of the babysitters, they had bikes, everybody.
Here in Coatesville?
Yeah, right down the street, They all have bikes and whatnot, so they're like, can you ride? I'm like, no, so we got a bike one Christmas, and it kind of started there.
And how old were you?
I was 4 years old.
Okay.
4.5, 5 years old. So it was like one of them, great experiences, you know what I mean? Because we didn't know how many people actually in PA actually kind of like rode like that, like fast flat trackers and stuff. So it was like, it was like all those people just bouncing ideas off of me, you know what I mean? I'd work with all of them, you know what I mean? I worked with Jake Johnson, Johnny Lewis, and all the fast local guys, so I learned a little bit.
Yeah, it's a big tradition around here, right?
Yeah.
District 6?
Yeah.
This is around here?
Well, what's the track? What's your nearest track from here, right?
Piston Hoppers right up the street.
Like, what, 10 miles or what?
5.
5 miles,
4,
really?
Yeah, pretty.
What size track is it?
Piston Poppers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When is it, like a half mile?
TT.
TT?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Could you go there and practice? Were you ever a member, or how did that work?
Yeah, you can go to the practice.
Yeah.
I probably call them. Probably go there and practice.
So you were 4, 5, 6, 7 growing up doing piston poppers.
Yeah.
3, 4 times a year, and
Yep.
then hitting the rest. How many races on the series when you were 10 years old? In the local.
15 or 16.
Okay.
There was a lot of racing.
Yeah.
There was a lot of racing locally. So it was fun.
Who was your same age? Who were you growing up with? Who was your?
Dalton Peltier.
Okay.
Brandon Price, Colin Cunningham.
As 5, 6, 7 year olds, you get
Yeah.
camping. Dads are drinking beers. You
Yeah.
guys are running around on bicycles.
Yeah,
I love it.
Ryan Barnes, Kyle McGreen.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow. All those guys from around here.
Yeah.
That's rad. I thought District 16 was a hotbed of
Yeah.
of
We got I got like
talent.
5 or 6.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
think
yeah,
of. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, this
Yeah.
is the cradle of it.
Oh heck yeah.
So your father got you a bike for Christmas. Has your father was he into bikes?
No.
No.
Nope.
Mom? I mean, there's
No.
uncles.
No.
Okay.
So it was like a whole new world for us.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? So
That's cool.
yeah.
Wait. You had a
Well,
thought?
do you feel that you have mechanics? Do you feel like you said you can pull a motor out.
Yeah.
Could you change rings, or can you?
I could, but I like so much of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
You know your way around a motorcycle
Yeah.
mechanically.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Sorry, Scott. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask about so midfield you started racing for Royal Enfield, taking
Yeah.
over for Johnny Lewis. How was that?
That was cool. Cool crowd, good people.
Yeah.
And to just make sure I was comfortable on the bike and everything was going good.
And Johnny Lewis is from around here too, right?
Yeah, 5 minutes up the road. Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's from here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. So you knew him from growing up,
Yep.
and
Mhm.
wow.
Yeah.
And how was the bike? Like how many races did you do on
2.
it? 2?
Yeah.
It was fun?
Yeah, it was fun. It was great to work with Johnny. And it's not like I was hopping in for somebody on like the Honda. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like it was actually he kind of like not built the bike, but he kind of told him what to do and how to build it in a certain way. So I'd tell him what it was doing, and he would tell him what to do. And it would do the exact thing. So it was good. It was good. It was a good day with Johnny. We got a podium out of the deal.
Yeah.
So we got a podium, and then the second time I rode it at Port Royal, it broke. But other than that, it was a good experience.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
How is
I
it
enjoyed
different
it.
than the Yamaha?
Just the frame. The
Yeah.
way it sits, the way it rides, the way it feels. Everything is totally different on it.
Yeah, but it's good. It's just the setup's good. It's
Yeah.
like it feels good.
Yeah.
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 Obviously, you excelled at it.
Yeah.
Podiumed on it right away.
Yeah.
So, how much practice had you had at that point?
None.
Really?
No practice. Well, we did a couple laps at what was that? Yeah, at Port Royal, and they had the World of Outlaws. Carl Larson and them guys were there. It's pretty cool to ride in front of them, but I didn't realize the track in the stands looked beautiful. Looked good, nice groove. But then when you get down there, the cars put waves in the
Yeah,
tracks.
yeah, those sprint cars are mean.
Yeah, they put waves in the tracks, and then so I'm riding across them, and the whole bike is just skipping across them.
Really?
You know, so I did 5 laps, but it was just like,
It's like a whoop-de-doo section that never ends.
yeah.
So that you were literally part of the show. They're like, all right, we're gonna bring out Cameron Smith. Everybody, get on your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's exciting.
it was
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah,
And because sprint cars bring a packed house. Yeah, that's pretty great.
yeah, it was awesome.
That's cool.
So we've connected. We told you how this relationship got started. I feel that we got to know each other a little bit more over the last couple months, and I feel that we have a vibe. Is that fair?
Yeah.
That you, and I'm not putting words in your mouth, but you attack flat track racing. Of course, you're serious. You're a professional. You want to do your very best, but you're not a win or die kind of a person. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're enjoying the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I'm not putting any words in your mouth.
Yeah.
But tell me about the vibe. Tell me about the energy of what we all have going on right now.
I just love it. You know, I love flat track racing. I love meeting the people. Just love everything about it. You know, waking up and working out and making the phone calls and doing all that type of stuff, working on motorcycles and just racing. You know, I love it all. You know, so I never try to look at it as a job or anything. You know, I love to do it. I've been doing it forever. So I just, like you said, just try and enjoy it as much as possible.
Is it hard integrating that? Because it's a pretty big schedule in the summer. When you have a full-time job, you're HVAC tech, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you have an understanding boss who
he was an ex professional flat tracker too.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's
No way.
too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
So it works out good, you know. It works out good.
Well, that's cool. What's his name?
Jake Shoemaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, he's the national number.
Yeah, 55.
And he owns a HVAC company here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't.
love it.
That's too much.
It's,
Tell us about your plans. I mean, let's. I don't want to burst your bubble,
Okay,
but
fine.
you have a limited window to do this because of your athleticism of what the skill takes, mentally, physically, to be able to connect. Scott, right? You were telling me this earlier. The vision of just predicting and the speeds you're doing it. My point is, give me your plans for the future. Give me 5-10 years.
or some ideas for the future. Like what's the stuff you think about when you're driving? You know. Like,
Well, I got one twin now. We're building 3 more for next year. You know, so we're.
Oh really?
Yeah, because
Nice.
we're combining, the class. So there's one twins class. So we're kind of we're at the top. You know what I mean? You can't go any higher up. So, just try and make a name for myself. And try to be out front. We have good equipment. I think if we fine tune a couple of things, we'll be up there with the fast guys. You know what I mean? So, I don't think this year we're too far off with what we had this year in Super Twins class. So I think if we make it a little bit better, we'll be up there a little bit farther. So I think we got a lot coming, in the next 5 years. Hopefully, being up, within the top 5 within the next season or 2, and then after that, try and go for a championship even. So I think the next 5 years, try and have a championship.
Yeah.
So that would be cool on a big team or just doing my own stuff. So
yeah.
I kind of like it doing my own stuff because you get to meet people like you and put your own program together. That's like the coolest thing ever. Putting your own program together, putting your own paint scheme, your own bikes, and putting the whole thing together. You know what I mean? And plus going out there.
You're saying you're embracing being a privateer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't want to say anything negative about someone that's not, but you would rather. I mean, sincerely, if someone came in here and was like, "Hey, we've got a semi out back.
Yeah.
We want you to ride for us." Would you do that for them though?
Yeah, that's.
But that's not a privateer. Now you've got.
No, that's like the dream.
Okay, so your dream is to get to that.
On a big team.
Yeah.
You want to come out with fancy sunglasses and your bike is running.
Yeah.
And the motor's been changed, the tires are geared up, and you have one of
Yeah.
those carpets with the
with
the thing in the tent.
And the catering's all ready to
Yeah.
go.
Okay, of course you want that. Yes.
That would be nice. That would be nice, but it would be even nicer to have it as Cameron's Racing, like they're working for me. You know what I mean? I'm getting, it's nice to get like people with bikes, but sometimes it gets wishy-washy, you know, because they can take them back. You know
Sure,
what I mean?
sure.
Oh, you didn't do good these 5 races. They can take bikes back. But if it's like my funding, you know what I mean, and my own bikes.
Right. It's your program.
Exactly. You know, so that's why, you know, it's nice to have people with money to come in. You know, because you can, you know, the more money, the bigger you can make it. The bigger you make it, you know, the bigger, you know, yourself gets out there. So.
Has it been hard chasing sponsorships? I know we've been having a hard time since the pandemic. You know, the motorcycle industry had enjoyed great success during the pandemic. They didn't really need to advertise or sponsor anyone because they're selling basically everything that they had.
Yeah.
So they were kind of like, oh, we don't really need to do it. Now things have shifted a little bit, but still people are kind of a bit reluctant to, you know, where they want to spend their sponsorship advertising dollars. Is that something that you felt too?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a little tough, but I think, you know, if you show the results, you know what I mean, the sponsors will come.
Yeah.
I think so. So, there's been, you know, I had some good runs this year, so got a lot of good stuff to put on the resume. So, I think we'll get a little bit more help this year.
Hell yeah.
Well, let me say this. I'm contradicting that. We sponsor you or want to be a part of you to help you as much as we can. Not because of your results, but because of who you are and the desire you have in your spirit and energy.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see actually not only you but other flat trackers change their mindset of how they find sponsors by being charismatic and creating a brand.
Yeah.
Your brand to me is just beginning to burst.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, Monster Energy do they really care about results as much as they would want to promote your brand of you as a human and a racer? Am I making sense?
The style. I mean, if you're racking up points,
that's
even
a
better,
bonus.
even better. But you know, I think you as the racer, not you personally, but the racer as an individual and the style that they project, and that's sort of what they're looking for, and that's why we also like you, because you know we get on well together. We admire how you do things. And
I mean, I like
on and off the track.
I like that you're into modern music, that you express yourself honestly and sincerely. I have to say this, and again, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. I'm saying just personally, I'm tired of the social media narrative of sorry things didn't go as well as I wanted when I came out here to Port Royal. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's such a predictable formula for their personality. I think that you're a standout and have the potential to be very attractive to outside of the flat track community. Am I making sense? Call me out if I'm wrong.
No, absolutely.
That's why we're involved. So my point is, if you don't do so well next year, I'm telling you, we're still with you. And I didn't even know you got 6th.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just rooting for you, you know, as a fan.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that point, let me ask you one more thing. You don't have to answer this now. This is just a little seed. What could we do, or what could sponsors do? You're seeing this industry from a different set of eyes. What could we do besides money? Besides sponsors giving you money, what could we do to help?
I like the shirts and stuff. Shirts and merchandise.
Okay.
You know, I think the merchandise gets you out there really good. You know, people wearing your shirts and jackets and stuff like that.
Sure.
You know, so all that stuff helps. You know, so I'm trying to work on some stuff right now. Trying to do some jackets and all, you know, types of cool stuff like that. You know, because I want everybody to wear my stuff.
Sure, we all do, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hell yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go into a little bit of a blue area, as they would say.
Yeah.
You had the last couple of years, you were kicked out of the AFT essentially. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
You don't have to talk about that. I'm more interested in the rebuild and the coming back.
Mm-hmm.
A couple other racers have been kicked out, and I'm curious. And you're not speaking for them.
Yeah.
Henry Wiles, Ezra Brusky.
Kicked out for
testing positive for THC, right?
Yeah.
Is that how can we say that? And you don't have to admit to anything, but because that's why I want to focus on the road to getting in, because we talked informally, and it's hard to come back in.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing maybe that's why. Or Henry Wiles, is he back?
Yeah, he came back for a couple races.
And he did the what do they call it, Road to Recovery?
Yep.
But some racers have not.
No.
Because the road is a long, hard road.
Yeah.
An expensive road.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, again, people that don't know, what's the Road to Recovery program? What does it mean, and what did it mean for you?
You don't have to, and you don't have to sugarcoat it. This is not, you know.
It's basically a program for like, people on like opioids and stuff like that. So it's like a clinic. You basically go to a clinic. You know what I mean? And
like the AA program or the NA program, the Narcotics Anonymous, and you go around the room and you're like, and I'm an addict. Is that?
You can.
Okay.
You know, it's weird, you know, because I went in there, I really didn't know what to expect. I show up on my first day, and then I'm just, you know, because on your first day, you're kind of just doing all the paperwork, get your appointment set up, go on first appointment, and you know, and then you get this like little card and stuff like that. You know, it's kind of weird.
Well, are you in a group or are you with a therapist?
It's both. You're like with a therapist and you're kind of like with a group, and it's just funny, you know, because they're all in there and they're just like, you're here for marijuana, you know. I just lost my kids. I'm on opioids, you know. I wish I could just be on marijuana, you know. Right, yeah. They're just all in there just laughing at me, you know. So it was more like
I stole my grandma's car and drove it through, you know, like the neighbor's house.
Exactly.
And you're just like, I got high and got kicked out of Pro Fletcher.
Exactly. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like one of them deals is just.
And you're like, what?
But so that program doesn't sound difficult. You just go to some meetings.
Well,
what
yeah.
made it difficult?
The difficult thing is, you know, you can't really race in anything AMA oriented. You know that, and then you know, the cost of it. You know, just the whole deal of just going through it. You know what I mean? Just being there with them type of people. You know what I mean? Just seeing that type of stuff happen to people, you know what I mean? It's like, man, how'd you know, get that bad, you know? So it was just one of those things like, yeah, probably won't go back, you know.
Sure, we don't want you to go back.
Yeah, I don't want to go back there. It's like almost like eating lunch, but nobody's there.
Sure.
You know, so it's just like at the cafeteria at school by yourself. It's just like, Jesus, like sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How long were you out for?
5 months. Yeah.
Almost a whole season.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you get your papers and like you're good and you're clean and clear or whatever they.
Yeah, I'm clean. I'm ready to come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you've been back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been back. Been back since March. Yeah.
Dolphin was like the first one that went through that, right? Was he the?
No,
he
he was
like
the first one. I think there was a couple more.
Oh, really?
They kind of blew him up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. You know.
You had someone to talk to about it, like when it happened to you, like because you know him from around here.
A little bit, but it was just one of the things. It's just like I just want to get over and done with.
Right.
You know, just
pain in the ass.
Yeah. It's just like one of those things. Just like going to work on Monday, just like, man, I just wanted to be Tuesday.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Is the justification for it because they would say, again, we're being objective.
Yeah.
They would say that if you would have marijuana in your system at all, you would be a danger with others on the track. Is that the justification for why it's such a strict?
Yeah, you would be like a major threat. You know,
if you were under the influence on the track.
Yeah, you would win a lot of races.
So you're not. So you're not disagreeing with the philosophy of the program, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it's a safety thing.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So it's more or less safety, and I guess, you know, they don't know how people react. You know, you might. Oh, I might have been smoking marijuana. Oh no, it's Spice. You know, now he's spazzing out on the track. You know, just taking people out, just being a complete savage.
Sure.
You know, it's just one of the things.
Which doesn't happen. I don't
know.
No, you wouldn't have it. You wouldn't. It's inconceivable that you would be under the influence on race day.
No.
Yeah.
If anything, he'd be off pace.
Yeah. But it's just like picking flowers.
Yeah.
Along the way. Well,
flag him.
I mean, I know this was it was a I don't know, a traumatic experience for lack of a better word, but I'd like to think that in anything that happens in our life, especially something that took 5 months, there's something that you learned along the way, or something that you came out of this.
Yeah.
Was there something positive that came out of that transition back into flat track?
Oh yeah, definitely. It really opened my eyes. It was like, do you really want to do this? You know what I mean? Cause
like taking that breather.
Yeah, taking the breather is like, all right, well, do you really want to race? You know, it's going to take you a lot of money to get back in, take you a lot of money, you know, just to, you know, get through the off season. You know, because the off season, that's when you got to freshen things up. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, well, I got to go through the program, plus get everything ready.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then so I was like, all right, yeah, well, I got to come back. You know, so I came back.
Do you think that you've tarnished any relationships or anything?
I don't know, man. If anything, you know, more people have came on and helped. You know,
excellent.
So I think it's one of the things. If I didn't come back, I think it would be you know, they'd be kind of Okay.
It was a thinner, and it wasn't meant to be. He didn't. By coming back, you showed your dedication to the sport.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Scott, I was doing all that for you to think of what you forgot.
I didn't think of what I forgot, but I was thinking about, like, you don't have to give us any gossip, but what's some insider, like, AFT, like who are some of the personalities that you like, that people like watching from home like wouldn't realize, like, are like really dynamic in the pits, like gravitate to, or always like cracking up, or like kind of maybe even seem like a little bit transgressive, or like, you know, like, wow, how is this person like a racer or an administrator of AFT, or like, what, you know, like,
Okay,
talk about somebody that's really fascinating.
You're looking for someone who is eclectic.
Yeah, an eclectic person. That's
someone who's unusual, that's in the industry
that you admire, or like you're looking forward to seeing. You know, that like, because they always got something, like, you know, going on that doesn't seem like regular. Because, you know, when you go in the pits, it's like everyone's very buttoned down with their uniforms. You know, a lot of times you listen to racers talk after a race, and, you know, the responses are very much like, I'd like to thank my sponsors, you know, this and that.
It's void of soul.
Yeah, it's a little, you know, it can feel like that sometimes. But who doesn't read from the script sometimes? Like,
man, I haven't really hung out with a lot of them, but one who really surprised me was Briar Bauman.
Yeah.
You know, just being on the Indian team, you know, and all that kind of stuff, just being at his level, you know, would expect him to be like really, like, you know, like, you know, there with it, you know, just pretty professional all the time. But I usually always go over to him and, you know, bust up a quick joke or something like that. So.
Okay, so he's a personable dude.
Oh, heck yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that, because to me he seems like a robot.
No.
That's good to hear.
He's got some good jokes, you know. He's got some heaters.
Okay, he's got some heaters.
Yeah, he has some good ones. And Brandon Robertson, he's a really cool guy. I hung out with him a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, he's really funny. He's really cool to hang out with. So.
Is there a racer that when you were a kid you had on your wall, you know, pictures on your wall, somebody you aspired to be?
Not really. I just like the. I just like riding.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
I really never really looked up to anybody or anything.
No,
like
I respect that. It sounds to some that might seem disrespectful.
Yeah.
But to me, I've never been what I would call a star fucker. I've never cared. I never really. What's the word?
of course,
superstar.
You respect the people who have accomplished a lot in the sport, of course, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not like you have to, you know, go over there and get the autograph or be like, hey,
Yeah.
I can't believe Post Malone touched my hand.
Yeah.
I've never been into that.
No, never. Just you know, because at the end of the day, we're all humans. You know what I mean?
Sure, I hear you.
And especially, you know, going to like flat track racing, being with big guys like Jeremy and Race with him, it's just cool. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh my god. It's just like, all right, this is cool. You know what I mean? Because like, one day you want to beat him and beat him, you know what I mean? So you don't want to sit there and fantasize on him.
Yeah.
Because you'll never beat him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're sitting there like, oh my god, if you're just like,
follow. I can't believe I'm following Jeremy.
Exactly, you know?
I want to stuff him.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about, again, being objective. I don't want to know the gossip, but at that Cedar Lake race, the internet chatter was, and even my own personal perspective, he bumped out the guy on the Kawasaki. I'm gonna
JD
bring
Beach?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bumped him out of the way twice.
But they've been doing that all season.
Bumped out even Briar.
Brian Jeremy's, yeah.
But then when on the restart, it looked like Briar bumped him. He went into the wall, and then he lost his mind. And so my point is, are those bump passes legal?
Yeah, they're all legal, you know. Sometimes they come with a little bit more aggression than sometimes, you know what I mean? So it's all racing, you know. You're out there, you know. So the groove is only so big. You're gonna touch, you know. Sometimes you just hope both of you don't fall and both of you guys don't get off the groove. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Especially if it's a battle for the league, you know. Kind of just want to pass them and make sure both of you guys can stay, you know. But if not, you know, then you got to get in there and make a pass. And it's a do or die, you know what I mean? Only one of us can be on this groove spot.
Sure.
Gonna take it, whoops, sorry. You know?
Sure. So you don't ever lose your cool or throw your helmet and
No.
shake your fist.
No, if anything, you know, just you know, take a chance sometimes. Sometimes you gotta take a chance. It's like, all right, well, we found this guy for 5 laps. You know, we got 3 more. on turn coming into turn 3, he's a little bit wider than coming into turn 1.
Sure.
I'm gonna get a good drive coming off of turn 2, coming to turn 3, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so.
But then here's the battle. Now you bump him. Now you're both off the groove. Now you lose 3 spots, and now after the pitch, he's pissed at you and wants to fight you.
Oh, you know.
It's just all business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Then it is what it is. You know. So. It's kind of.
Maybe that's why you work out.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, you know. If it comes to that, it comes to that. So
It doesn't often come to that.
No,
not often.
it sounds like I'm talking about the negative. I'm just trying to focus on the nuance of how you're able to stay friends amidst this brutal, seemingly
competition.
brutal
Yeah, it's like this
right?
super.
Yeah, I think it's all like I said.
competition.
It's all by. Sometimes it's not by choice. Sometimes it's just by. Like I said, it's an inch. You know, an inch gets half your bike in there. You get half your bike in there. You nudge them a little bit.
Yeah.
You got first place. You know, it is what it is. You know, a pass is a pass. So.
And you're humbly saying, if Corey Texer did it to me, that's what it is, right?
I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. It's racing.
Yeah,
So
I appreciate that.
If your bubble gets evaded, you get bumped. It happens. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
You have all these trophies here.
Right.
You have more than this?
Yeah. We have trophies everywhere.
Yeah. Do you write them down? Do they mean anything to you specifically?
No.
If I pulled one randomly and showed it to you, you'd be like, I remember this.
Yeah. If
Yeah. Let's test it right now. How about this one right here?
Oh,
How about this one?
I would fail this test.
How about this one right here?
Does it happen? You can own it.
What's that?
Scavonium, 4th place. Yeah.
What
Remember
bike?
this.
That's in Baltimore, right?
2006.
That's an indoor
Yep.
race. No Coke syrup. I think it's just a raw concrete.
Well, yeah. Yep. With raw concrete, Conti. I think I have the picture in there. Yeah.
So what bike were you on in this?
It's a Conti 50. I don't think
In 2006, you're on a 50.
Yeah. That was
God.
7.
You're 7.
Yeah.
I was married for 5 years already. Okay, but you remember that?
Yeah.
God, a Conti is those are like are they Italian bikes? What is
Yeah,
it?
it was a lemon and Cobra mix.
Yeah. Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you got anything else, Scott?
No, I think
We
we're gonna wrap it up. I think Sheila's making some lunch, so
Yeah.
everyone's probably waiting for us to get done over here. So
Yeah.
we're at Cameron's family house, so we got to meet the family last night, and your parents are great, and they've been super welcoming to all of us and coming in and taking over your yard and
Okay.
destroying the lawn, which evidently is your domain. You take
Yeah.
care of the lawn, so it's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. It seems
It's
to be all
fine.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for having us, Cameron.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
No worries.
All right.
Thanks, everybody. The Mama Tried Flat Out Friday podcast with Cameron Smith in Coatesville, Pennsylvania. We'll see you soon.